Pulse 98.4.
I'm joined with my guest Michelle, who is, I'm just going to let her do what all our guests do. I'm stuttering now. Going to let her introduce herself and say a wee bit about herself and what she does, so I'm just going to put it over to you, Michelle.
Okay, I'm Michelle and I do a bit of production and a bit of writing for Bad Pony Media. I do a bit of music and things like that as well.
So what do you do specifically, Michelle?
My role as a producer mainly tends to involve a lot of problem solving. So when things go terribly wrong, I'm the person that everybody comes up to, like circles, like what are we going to do? Help. And so really I think primarily I fell into that role of sort of problem solving. Also do a wee bit of lighting in an emergency as well. A bit of everything really.
How long have you been doing this?
I feel like I've been doing it forever. I feel like I've just literally popped out the womb and started like managing things and doing production. We started filming a pilot and that was quite a few years ago now. I don't know, about 12 years or something like that. It feels longer, but then we went to college and we sort of learned a bit more about the technical aspects of production in TV and film, and then we started doing it more professionally once we sort of finished the college stuff.
You've done quite a bit film-wise, haven't you?
I mean, we've won plenty of like sort of awards and award nominations and things like that, like BAFTA Scotland, and we entered the 48-hour film competition quite a few times. And that was mainly for like to practice. We're kind of
great team building exercise.
It's really good, but it's so stressful. But again, you don't see that, and a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is just everybody sitting in a circle, like, oh no, we've totally run out of actions. The actors pulled out, and you get all of this. But I like the challenge of it, you know, that sort of way that it just gives you that sort of endorphin rush, getting it sorted out on time and things like that, with it just in the nick of time usually.
This is a side of filmmaking that people don't see. I've been in that situation. People see the film when it's finished.
Yeah.
They don't see everything you dealt with, do they?
No, they don't get to see that. But you know, that's the sort of things that build memories within the set, and the cast and crew will look back on it and they don't really remember the film and the segments, but they'll remember all the bits before it and how we had a laugh. We had to move all the gear in the rain and move to a different location, and it does build some really strong memories, makes you want to keep doing it, really.
People can find Bad Pony Media online as well, can they?
Yeah, you should. You could just pop it into Google and you'll be able to see lots of newspaper stuff and bits and pieces about the kind of projects that we're working on.
You're casting for a few things just now, aren't you? You want to tell us a wee bit about that?
Yeah, sure. We're looking for somebody who's going to play a main role in our kind of family/crime drama thing. Going to update our Facebooks and our Twitter and things like that and our Instagram about that. We're also looking for actors over the age of 40 for One Foot in the Green, which I'm so excited about, because I know there's a pool of really talented people in Scotland that are totally untapped, and I'm really excited to see how that's going to pan out.
I'm over 40, so I mean I don't act, but I know a lot of talented actors over the age of 40 who are amazing.
Yeah, but the stuff that we've done that we're still currently working on are 98%, which is a TV kind of family drama thing that we're doing. It's got some crime in there as well, but that isn't really the main focus. It's more the psychology and the dynamic between the characters. I've signed off the scripts to a major broadcaster at the minute. Don't think I'm allowed to name them. I'm just looking over to
I know it is.
I'm not allowed to name them at the moment.
That's how it always comes down to you. Like, I want to tell you, but I can't.
But I'm sure it'll all come out in good time. So we've got everything crossed for that. So this is technically the first official announcement to the cast as well, that we're looking to move forward. I know that it looks stagnant. It looks as though we've not done much in a wee while, but we are pushing ahead with that. And we've got some comedies as well that I'm writing just now. It's like a bowling comedy called One Foot in the Green. You can see where it's taking its inspiration from a wee bit. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to represent older actors, and I felt like there wasn't enough on TV for people in that age group. So
that's the thing, isn't it? You see a lot of young, pretty people, but not a lot of other people.
You don't see people that are relatable and still really talented, and I wanted to see more of it. So hopefully that'll give us a platform to do that on.
I mean, that's great. That's a great idea in itself. But tell us, you write books, but do you also write scripts?
Yeah, I do. It's a strange one because I started to write scripts and realised I was incredibly bad at it. So what I did was I sort of took myself away for about 1.5 to 2 years, and I learned from scratch, like kind of self-taught how to do all that. So I done all that, and then eventually I didn't really think it would go anywhere. I wrote a pilot, and before I knew it, there was just a lot of like attention and energy and people around it and sort of wanting to work on it, and it grew from there. when I moved from that to book writing, that was another difficulty because it wasn't a straight transaction. It wasn't like you can
It's not quite the same, is it?
No, it's like, your script is like the skeleton of your kind of project, and that's all it is, a bare bones. When you're going to a book, it's flushing out every single situation, every single end you have to come up with yourself. So being that kind of self-reliant was quite difficult, and that took a long time to master as well.
But you've written more than one now, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm kind of in the very early stages of my third book. So I was doing a trilogy, so I've done the first two in the Evil Is trilogy just now. I'm working on something factual at the moment, and it's hopefully going to be out maybe, I think, in the middle of next year. I'm giving myself a wee bit of time to do a good job on it.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah.
But tell us a wee bit about the Evil Is books. I mean, tell the listeners.
Well, the Evil Is book, it kind of started from, this is going to sound so weird, but I had this really horrible nightmare dream. It was so real, this dream. It's just like a segment, and it's actually written into chapter 2 of the book.
Okay.
So I wrote the whole book around that. It took me about 5 years to write it. It was quite intense, and I found that it kind of affected my mental health quite a lot, sort of being locked in that sort of place with the book and the characters. But the basis of it is, it's about an older lady that finds out she's got a terminal illness and she's only got a little while to live, so she decides to start to write a journal and reveal parts of her secret life to her current family, who don't know anything about who she really is. So it's quite interesting, it's all from her point of view, really.
The book's done quite well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think the book is more or less broken even for me, at least, and that's not too shabby. It's up on Amazon just now, so it can just be bought on Amazon. Type in Evil Is MJ Martin and hopefully it should come up. It's in Kindle version, you can look at it on your phone, and it's also out in hardback now as well, so that's quite exciting. To hold it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you have a great imagination?
Yeah, I do, and it keeps me up at night, and I can't sleep. People are like, how do you come up with these things? And I'm like, I've had a terrible life, it's so easy just to... It's not really imagination, some of it's like drawn from things around me, and the other parts of it are just like my head's constantly going.
So what about the new book? Tell us a wee bit about that. Where did that come from, the inspiration for that? Because it's completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, is it the one that I'm working on just now?
Yes.
Yeah, the one I'm working on just now, so it's going to be called My Mother, My Monster, and it's actually factual, so there's a court case going on just now. Again, I'm limited in what I can say, just because of that, but I do have interested publishers already, so it looks as though that might be quite a good platform to sort of explore some issues around like historic abuse and stuff that aren't really being covered in the media. So I thought that was quite a good way to sort of portray and angle that as well. So it's quite heavy, it's quite heavy, it's not fictional.
But they say that the best writing comes from life experiences, from what you know, doesn't it? So. Yeah,
they do say you should write what you know, and I think once you master that, you can really write anything at all. And it's probably why I jumped genres and I jumped kind of formats, because I'm looking constantly to challenge that and remaster parts of the writing process, really. Yeah.
We will be back after this to chat a bit more. If you've got anything that you want to ask my guest or myself, text 07538 984 984.
So you're having a party? Then why not spice it up with our portable professional karaoke system? It's the one thing that brings the family together, old and young. From ABBA to Elvis, we have all the hits. All you need is your own TV. We supply the rest. Our prices start from £50, so it's great value for money. We also do speakers and lighting, so check out our website at rs100.co.uk. Why buy when you can hire it all? RS100, the karaoke hire specialists. RS100 are located in Hillington, just 2 minutes from Braehead. Log on to rs100.co.uk or call 0141 337 1100. RS100, number one for DJ or party equipment hire.
Before we speak to Michelle again, there's a text message here. It says, Michelle, love your work. Excited to hear about 98%. I follow you on Twitter. Love from Andrea, Emily and baby Darren.
Scotland's number one, Pulse 98.4.
The music. We will have a wee bit more with Michelle after the news on the hour. If you've got anything that you want to ask myself or Michelle, as always, get in touch on 07538 984 984.
Caledonia Property.
Pulse 98.4.
We're going to go through some questions. You're getting loads of questions. Ian Blair on Facebook said, what books do you read, and have you got any tips for new writers? That's a good question.
That is a really good question. I really like the VC Andrews series, Flowers in the Attic. I've not read a lot of the new stuff for the ghostwriter. I'm guilty of that. I really want to though, but it's just sort of getting round to it. As for tips for new writers, I would say that something I read which really helped me was most people, like out of 100, only 2 people will finish a book that they start to write. So if you can be one of those 2 people, then you're already 98% above anybody else. All you have to do is finish it. Don't think too much about it. Just get it down and get it finished, and keep writing.
That's
just
really
keep
good
at
advice.
it.
So Gavin Drivers via Facebook has wrote, do you prefer comedy or crime?
I prefer crime or dark psychology stuff, like where it's just really twisted and messed up, and human interactions is sort of always on that brink of being kind of just really dark and kind of morbid and a bit sort of gothic, really. I really
I'm
like
very
gothic
like
stuff.
that. I'm
Yeah.
very true crime even.
Yeah,
Like
I love
even
it.
just like when I'm travelling here and back and stuff, I'll be listening to true crime podcasts.
Oh, you
on-
must pass me some links. That would be
Honestly,
awesome.
I love the whole true crime thing.
I'm constantly on like YouTube watching like documentaries.
So am I.
I love documentaries. I love reading about true crime and sometimes the forensic stuff behind that.
See if you saw my YouTube history.
I know you'd be like, she's a serial killer.
Honestly. Andy Palmer on Facebook has wrote, where can I hear your music?
We've got an album out just now called The X-Files, and that's currently out on Spotify, and it's on a few other things, isn't it, as well? On iTunes, and I'm looking at everybody, and something about Google Music. Yes,
Yeah.
so you can find us, you can totally tell I'm not the person that uploads and deals with that side of it, but if you Google it in, you should get it pretty much on most platforms. It's Eric and the Bunny Boilers.
These were in the top 40 on Spotify, weren't you? With the
Yeah,
single?
we were, and we were quite excited about that because Spotify is sort of like so big now, you know, it's
I know,
like
it's huge.
so important, and we're starting to use it more and more as a platform and a tool for getting the music out there. So that was a huge achievement, and I think the whole band should be really proud of that, but also the people that help us do that. The fans, I'm so forever in their debt.
And we are going to talk a wee bit more about Eric and the Bunny Boilers. Vivian has also asked, when's the next gig?
Now, the next gig should be pretty soon. We're almost gig ready with our new bass player. We've got offered quite a few really good support slots and things sort of between the end of October and the end of December. We'll be putting them up. You can find that out on our Facebook and our Twitter probably. At Bunnies on Tour. Been offered next year for Pink in the Park and Transmit as well. We're really looking forward to that. Those will be awesome.
Going to go to a break, but when we come back for the break, we're going to talk a wee bit about the band. So you can still get in touch on 07538 984 984.
Pulse 98.4.
We are back with our guest for the last wee while, and we're just going to talk about the music now, because it's something we've not really covered much. Tell us a bit about the band. Tell us a wee bit about the music.
Yeah, it's all about the music, man. I started in bands when I was 12, and I started playing guitar when I was 12. When normal people were outside enjoying the summer, I was in with the curtains pulled playing electric guitar. So I got my first guitar when I was 12, and then really started bands. They kind of, you know, the way bands form and disband and stuff. And we're at the stage now where we're still called Eric and the Bunny Boilers. We've had a wee bit of a change in line-up. Been jamming in our attic, because we've got like an attic band room, which is just so cool. It's just so as if it was made for us to be there rehearsing, and we've got really cool neighbours who like the music. Fortunately
That's
for us,
lucky.
every time the door goes, we'll look at each other like, oh no, is that the police? So as I touched on earlier, we've got an album out. We've been around for a wee while, but this has been our first album just due to personal situations and circumstances. We've almost kind of peaked and then had to pull back a few times, like just things you can't help, bereavements and all that. We are sort of moulding ourselves at the moment within the Britpop genre, so we're hoping that that's going to be a wee bit of a revive, because it's like my total favourite genre of music. I grew up absolutely loving all the Britpop bands and stuff like that, and I still love them. When I hear it, like it comes on the radio, you just kind of feel you're back at that stage again. And
Tell us a bit about what's coming up and stuff like that, because you do have quite a bit coming up with the band. I mean, you've got the tour and the album. And
we had plans to do like a little bit of a beach busking tour, and again, as I touched on before, doing kind of bigger festivals like Pink in the Park and transmitting
That's
stuff.
great.
And I'm super excited about it. Frank actually went to Pink in the Park, and he came back and said it was awesome, and the sound techs were awesome, and the stages were awesome, and I got a wee bit excited about it. And I don't usually like gigging because I get really nervous.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, what is that like, playing in front of a huge crowd?
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. After the first song, like, as long as everything sounds okay, you kind of just go into like an autopilot of performance, because at the end of the day, my job is to cover up any nerves. That's part of being a performer, and it can be quite difficult. But I'm always like before it, why am I doing this? I could run away and they wouldn't be able to stop me. I'm holding the guitar and I'm like, will I plug it in or will I run away? Every time I'm thinking it. But at the end, when I finish and it's been a good response and it's that adrenaline rush, and I think that's why I'm doing this. And it sort of answers my question for me once I do it, once it's out the road. Once the nerves sort of even out a little bit. And I think what we as a band really enjoy is interacting during the gig, and I think that's something that sets us aside, is we're literally a group of really close friends having a jam, and if we happen to be on a stage, carrying on a wee bit and stuff like that, and winding each other up.
What was that like then, bringing a new person in?
It was really easy, and I'll tell you why, because we've actually known Kat since she was 15, and she came to the very first gig that we played with Frank. Kat was in and out of bands for years, and then she went on to teach, and she went to live in Oxford and things like that, and we were sort of still in contact. And when she moved back here, we were all in this situation where we got together, we were all kind of single, and we were all having a drink, and we're like, if only we had a bass player. And I think it was actually like Alan's suggestion, it's Frank's brother, went, why can't Kat play bass? And we all just looked at each other and went, yeah, that would be a really cool idea. But it's been awesome. It's been so easy because we were already really good friends for the last 20 odd years. So
it makes it easier. It definitely makes it easier.
Does. And she's a really good musician as well, so she can just turn her hand to any instrument because she teaches, so it's so much easier.
That's fab. That's such a good thing.
But she fits in so well, so it's awesome.
And again, you say you don't like gigging so much, that recording's near your thing. What is that like?
I like to keep the live feel going when we're recording. I like that sort of almost live sort of sound to that, just to keep that energy there.
You have an album out just now, don't you?
We do. The album's called The X-Files, and you can get that on iTunes and Spotify and Amazon and Google Music. I learned that. I totally just learned that in the last 5 minutes. I didn't know. Got a website which is bunniesontour.co.uk, and our Insta and our Twitter is @bunniesontour. Bad Pony Media casting, you can usually find us popping it into Google Bad Pony Media, but to get a hold of casting directly, you can send headshots and you can send show reels to us. So the email address for that is casting@badponymediagroup.co.uk, and we'll sort of put it into our database. Anything comes up, we'll pass it along to you.
And just a wee quick thing that I'm noticing before I go, you won the Scottish Enterprise Business of the Year.
We did. I'm looking at my bit of paper now. I've got scraps of paper. We've all got scraps of paper. It's so 1990. Yeah, we sure did. And that was in 2018. We got that, and a lot of that was to do with Frank's really hard work and patience and dedication to it. So I can't take credit for all of that. Frank does such an amazing job.
As you say, he works super hard.
He is the hardest working person I have ever met. I just get bored with things, and I'm like, right, you finish that.
You're more of the creative side.
Yeah. I just tell him what to do.
But you need the balance between the creative and the business, don't you?
It's definitely a good balance. We're an awesome team, and I don't think Frank gives himself enough credit. Absolutely awesome. Frank, he's such an amazing writer, and he's doing a zombie film. I'm looking forward to it. I really like his writing. It's super dark.
It definitely sounds like Evening of the Dead, just sounds like my kind of thing. But the whole team work hard, don't they? They work hard together.
Yeah. I've got to, you can't really mention Bad Pony without mentioning Cheryl does an awesome job on camera. She has been with us as an integral part of the group from the very beginning. Maureen, who was amazing at being AD. So that's assistant director for anyone who doesn't know. And again, she was catering, she was doing loads of other stuff. Same with Charlie McDonald. She was awesome on set. She had to run about, phone people, arranged logistics and all the rest of it. We're working with some new people now as well, so we're working with John, who's also came on board with camera. So again, a really good fresh talent.
And very, very quickly before we go, before we wind up, if there's anybody that's sitting thinking, I would love to do this creative, like being a band or write or be a filmmaker or whatever, what sort of advice would you give them? What tips would you give them?
I would say it's important to be confident in yourself. So if you've got an idea and you wake up every morning and you can't get it out your head, and it's the last thing you think about when you go to bed at night, and during the day you're daydreaming about it, you must do it. You must find a way to do it. A lot of people say, I just don't have the time and I've got other things on. But see, if you really want to achieve this, the reality is you must find time to do it. That is the simple merit of it. You must make and find the time, or else it won't happen. And that's the priority that you've got to start with.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in, Michelle.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm sure I'll be back soon.
I am hoping that you'll be back soon.
You've been lovely.
Thank you for everybody that texted in as well. We will be back after this.